money. I
know.
really had no money. When university, Don and I left Edmonton, we were flat out. And we owed money, you know.
And you had 3 small children.
And we're having children then as well. The 3 kids were coming along. So I said, Mom, yes, I'll do it. I will fix it up. So the pleaser one time I went and I got one of the panels on Daniel's Point to put a floor in the porch.
Yeah.
I said, I just put a new floor in the porch.
Started.
Oh, we're started. Little did I know I had to take the whole thing apart eventually and fix it up.
Fix it up.
But it would have been nice had she been. The other thing to Ed, I wish Ed had lived long enough to see it fixed up.
To see it, yeah.
He really wanted it.
He really wanted to see it, yeah, and he really wanted to, you know.
He was really interested in having the house, yeah.
Yeah, really.
And do you spend a lot of time there now?
I don't spend enough time there, but I do spend.
And you enjoy it when you're there?
Summers are great. I love it there, yeah. I just go and
then you shut her down for the winter.
And shut it down for the winter. But it's a nice, it's quite a nice place now because
it's lovely.
It's very livable, and you should go down sometime and spend some time there. Because it's
Jill said she'd like to spend a weekend there.
Yeah, and it would be great, and it's there. And when I open it now in the spring, it's there for anyone to go and spend a few days there. Up to a point of maybe 5 or 6 or 8 years ago, it was hard to bring anybody in because it wasn't really done, you know.
No.
But now I think it's done.
Oh, it's done now. You can, I really enjoy it.
It requires a lot of tender love and care because things in it are very delicate.
Fragile.
Like the water system and all that.
Very good. Fussy.
But generally speaking, no, it's quite good. It's easy to do. And I'm very happy with it. Yeah.
But I'll always remember the night Bill was born.
You can remember
I can remember it as plain as if it happened.
I'm a much younger person than she is.
Do tell about
we were in bed. He was born in the night, you know. Well, 8:30 or 9 o'clock or something. We were in bed, but we weren't asleep, and I had no idea there was a baby coming. I mean, never entered my mind. I suppose, at 4 years old, was I? 4?
No.
Maybe 5.
You were
born in 35.
You were 4, yeah. You were 4.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was in bed with Rita. Yeah. Rita and I shared a room. I shared a bed. And Regina and Marge were in the other bed. And in comes this lady, Mrs. Sister. I didn't know who she was then. This tall lady came in, and just a lamp. She just had a little lamp, that little one.
Florence Nightingale.
Yeah. And she laid the lamp down and she said, "The baby is here." And she came over and she laid the baby, down for us to look at.
Yeah.
I didn't know where the baby.
Also a heart attack.
I was looking at Will last night on the picture, and he was admiring Sam.
Aww.
And I thought, now, I was only a year older than Will when she brought in that baby that night.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get sleep or anything. There was a baby in the house. Where'd the baby come from?
That's sweet.
Yeah, that was, and I can remember it. I can still see Mrs. Sis.
Do you remember your grandparents at all?
You do. I don't remember them at all.
My dad took me to his dad's funeral.
And you remember that?
Yes, because he picked me up and told me to kiss him on the forehead. And it was very like ice.
Ew.
Yeah. So according to the death thing I have up there in the book, I was not even 5.
Yeah.
Mm.
So he died quite young.
Yeah.
And how about aunts and uncle? Like nannies had how many siblings? Do you know?
There was 12 altogether, but there was only
4 of them died, was it?
4 of them died with diphtheria.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Imagine.
I know. Yeah, it's amazing actually.
I mean, passing the
pandemic.
The pandemic, they called it.
Yeah.
Big Q on your door.
Yeah.
Great big Q
For
painted on the door.
Quarantine.
Yeah. Nobody was allowed in, and they weren't allowed out.
People would have to
So
leave stuff.
they'd pass in a box that they made for the child through the window. And they'd put the child in it and pass it back out through the window. And one of these children was 15, John Michael.
Yeah.
No, John. It was John and Mike, wasn't it?
No.
And they named him John Mike, didn't they? Was it one John and one Michael?
Yeah, I believe
Yeah.
there was a John,
John
and
and
a
a
Michael.
Mike, I
but
think, yeah.
I don't know how
Yeah.
old the
Yeah.
John, one of them was, but this young fellow was the only one, she said, that knew he was going to die,
Yeah,
as he was 15.
Yeah.
yeah.
But the other 3 little ones just died.
They just didn't. They weren't old enough to really get it.
Yeah.
But the poor woman, well, you know, you look at her picture now and she looks like she went through hell on earth, doesn't
Yeah.
she?
Well, if she lost, well,
There's a
lost
lot of-
4, had 12, lost
Yeah,
4.
there's a lot
Yeah.
of, there was a big loss,
Yeah.
you know, and they couldn't, the trouble was they couldn't do anything about it. There was no, you know, there was no...
There was nothing.
There was
The
nothing,
only
right? Health-wise,
thing they
there was
knew,
nothing really, you know.
she said, was that they couldn't eat after each other, and that John was his name, the 15-year-old, someone brought an orange for one of the little children. There was no such thing as an orange at that time. And they laid it down and he picked it up and sucked on it, because he never saw an orange, you know.
And that's what killed
And
him.
that's what killed
That's
him.
what got him. It's like the pandemic today, in a way, isn't it? You got to be so
Careful.
careful what you do. There. But Marlene, going back to my own recollection, I was just thinking about it. The best time of life that I found in Trapassi, the most memorable time, was when I was really young. And I don't know if you feel the same about it. But as a teenager in Trapassi, it was very, very...
Oh, yes.
Was very young. It wasn't good.
You
But
didn't
as a
even
young
want to be
kid,
there.
living in the house and doing the things, and even when I was in junior high and high school, the winter I spent, just Mom and I were there together, and we still had all the animals and everything, and I was kind of looking after them. I remember that with such fond memories. It was
Yeah.
just fantastic, you know. It was a great spot. The home we had, if you looked at what I call the
It's right over there.
little farm, you know,
Yeah.
that we had, with the animals and all the things we did, it was almost storybook like to looking back on it. Now we didn't probably realize that at the time.
No, we didn't.
But
no.
I reflected back on it, and yeah, it's almost like a storybook. Now it had its hardships and it was tough and all that stuff, but it was a nice place to be. Our house was a nice house to be.
Oh, it was a lovely
you know?
house. Lovely house. Always warm.
And warm, and
Lots of people.
Dad was very
Attentive to all of
attentive,
us.
and
yeah.
he was very
Quiet.
able and to do things, and like he would cook breakfast in the mornings. And the memories you have better memories than I would have, but I have some memory of that, where he'd come down in the morning and it was warm in the middle of winter, and the kitchen was so
Big
warm,
iron pot
and
full
a pot
of
of
porridge.
porridge on the table. And I can just remember this man who was dead, you know, big man. And then people would all come down and he would give us stuff, you know, like porridge. So there was a lot of really nice things in our family.
And they really cared for us too, because
Yeah.
on a stormy day, you'd never walk home. Dad would be down with the horse
Yeah,
and cart, and we'd
Yeah.
get on the horse and drive home.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Always, he'd
And
come down.
Did you guys do like birthdays or any
No, we
celebrations?
didn't
No.
do
Birthday
any
wasn't a
birthdays.
thing.
No.
You never did a
What
birthday.
about,
You tell him about your birthday.
Yeah, one birthday I remember, I was 15, I think. And Mom and I were living together, or living alone at the time. And I came home from school, and it was my birthday. So she said, what can we do for your birthday or something? I've forgotten the conversation. And she said, why don't we cook a hen? So I said, okay. So we went up to the stable
Picked up.
and picked out a hen, right from scratch. And his mom said that'd be a nice one or something, I don't know. So I took it, I killed it, and I cleaned it, and then gave it to Mom, and she made a pot of soup. So that was my birthday.
Yeah.
But it's the only birthday I remember
Yeah.
having any
Yeah.
kind of celebration, you know.
I don't remember any celebration.
And so I was, as I said, Mom and I were living alone at the time.
I could talk to you guys all day.
So it was really fun place to be. Even that little thing that Mom did now, you know.
Yes, yeah.
Then it was just,
Yeah.
oh, that was nice, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But when you reflect back on it, it was nice. But the animals, you see, with us, the animals and us as a family were almost one.
Yes, and we
You
knew
know.
them all, and we loved them all.
You know,
we loved the
everybody-
cows, and Mum would
and
teach
sheep
us.
and horses.
But she taught us by example,
Yeah.
you know. She said, your cow gives you your milk and your butter.
Mm-hmm.
Be good to your cows. And she'd say, don't hit them with a stick. Scratch the flies off them with the stick.
Sweet.
She taught us how to be kind by
Yeah.
being kind to the
Yeah.
animals. They loved the horse. They loved Jack. I mean, he was one of the family.
He was one of the family. Yeah, came in the porch.
Yeah,
Okay, you gotta
I
go.
gotta run,
I gotta
guys.
go too.
yeah.
Thank
Anyway.
you. That was excellent. I could
Shall-
talk all
I
day.
shall go.
And listen all day.
A shock.
Meet my crowd.
Poor Bill. Who are you meeting this evening?
I'm meeting, I don't know, it's a whole bunch of